one thing that drives me mad about Postman is you're working on a query and then you duplicate it. Inevitably, I haven't saved the thing before I duplicate it. And when you duplicate it, it duplicates the previously saved version. It is so...
I'm so glad someone else has this exact specific issue.
This episode is brought to you by Smile.io, customer loyalty that grows your revenue. Join the thousands of Shopify Plus businesses that use Smile to increase repeat purchase rate, provide exclusive benefits for members and VIP customers, and build a more profitable business.
How was your week, dude?
Dude, it was okay. I sort of finally started to get a little bit of bandwidth. Like I've been just slammed for like a month. I had like 3 clients hit me with a whole list each, and so I was just trying to take a little bite out of each of those and other things every day.
Oh, that's hard.
And then finally I looked up yesterday and I was like, oh, I'm done with 2 of the 3, and then the third one I'm pretty close to done. So that was cool. But then I have this one client's getting a little feisty.
Same one from last week?
No, different one. Different
that one's gone.
I swear. Actually, the one from last week, things are fine. Basically, the agency is kind of taking a more active role, and I'm not sort of dealing directly with them quite as much. So, which is great.
Like a blessing.
Yeah, which is great because he's great. He's great at requirements and stuff. You know, when you ask somebody a question, you run it, you're building something out, you run into something, okay, for example, company locations in B2B, it's okay, are we gonna use shipping addresses here or not? And, they just kind of have a sane way of thinking about that or, checking versus sometimes you ask someone a question and they're just and you just never get a clear answer, and then they give you an answer, but they end up contradicting themselves later. It's just a nightmare. So, God.
That is how it goes most of the time.
Yeah, it's so and so when you're working with somebody that just things make sense, it's it's really nice. But
it takes a lot of work to make things make sense.
It does. It really does.
You got to get to the bottom of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of, you're doing something new you haven't quite done before, or other, everybody involved hasn't quite done this exact thing. I mean, it's not like we're building houses where we're building the same house that we've built 100 times before in the exact same way,
But everyone also comes from a different experience of what was possible or what's just easy.
Right, right.
You have to deal with bringing them down.
Shooting down their hopes and dreams.
That's right.
Well, and this other one, it's
at least for now. You got to iterate, we'll get there.
Then we'll iterate, then we'll get there, and we'll get it done. And yeah, when the middleman thing is not good. Basically all my clients, even the couple that are through agencies, I do deal with the end client. But except if the end client is a lot of points of contact, and then they don't all have a clear, but if there's a single person that, you can talk to, I basically always am in touch with the end client. And in one case, I'm not. And so it's things are coming back in weird ways from the agency. And then all of a sudden there's these random rushes to like push to like deploy half of the stuff I was working on, and no, let's just deploy this today and we'll do the other part later, da, 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 and stuff like that. It's just infuriating.
Sounds like you need an agile process.
Yeah, that is what I need. Also, I need a nice, relaxing job with a merchant. If you ever happen to hear of anything along those lines.
I wouldn't say relaxing. I have all of those same problems.
Okay. Yeah, you do a good job of masking it. I need to actually meet like the people on your team one day and get a sense of whether they're like chill or whether they're, high strung or whatever. And then I
Yeah,
won't feel, and then I'll, have a better sense of
you'll know.
things, and then I'll know the truth.
Yeah,
I think I
no,
randomly,
it's
you might have posted it. I don't know how I saw like a video of, I think it might have been the president of Kuyan or something like that. She seemed super cool. She was,
oh yeah, I posted that.
okay, yeah,
It was an Uber video.
that's right.
We did this like we're in the Uber Eats app for their climate collection,
Oh, nice.
and that was the talk about like people not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
That team was weird, but anyway, we did the climate collection. We're in the app.
Nice.
Inventories are flowing.
Nice.
Uh, and then I heard Carla was like nervous about this, doing a video like in an Uber.
Right.
Like it's just an interesting, like someone's going to interview you in an Uber about this climate collection.
Right.
But it turned out great. It was, yeah, it was interesting.
Nice.
Lots of views on that bad boy.
Nice. Got to juice those views.
That's right.
Um, nice. And how about you? How's your week going this week?
Good. We launched the loyalty program on Monday. It's going well.
Oh,
Now we're
nice.
preparing for Black Friday, which starts next week, and kind of like feeling the shift towards 2025 planning, which is a lot of fun.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
I got a lot of work to build the roadmap, and we did like an interesting brainstorm last week across like retail team, customer experience team, trying to just identify problems on the site,
Hmm.
empathizing with our customer personas. So like there's a lot of interesting stuff that goes into all of that stuff. And then yeah, we'll have a roadmap
David,
of
this
tests to
sounds
do next year.
horrible. Empathizing with customer personas sounds like torture,
I never
dude.
thought it would be this way, David.
No,
But
that's cool.
somehow we're here.
That's cool. Um, dude, can I just say that third-party GraphQL clients are all trash? I, I've been trying
Because they
to,
don't cover the entire thing.
dude. Yeah, like they never autocomplete. Like I've been trying to use Postman for I don't know. Like it is nice to be able to save queries. Like the Shopify GraphQL app doesn't do a good job of letting you like save queries.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no, I have so many Postman saved queries. Like
right,
I have a whole
right.
workspace.
Which one thing that drives me mad about Postman is you're working on a query and then you duplicate it because let's say you're working on a create query and then mutation and then you want to do an update mutation so you duplicate it. Inevitably, I haven't saved the thing before I
Hmm.
duplicate it, and when you duplicate it, it duplicates the previously saved version. It is so
I'm so glad someone else has this exact specific issue.
I was sure that I wasn't the only one. God, I hate it.
No, I forget to save all the time, and
Who
then like I have the
saves?
same thing. Like,
Nobody. Yeah,
didn't
no.
I change this to inherit auth from the parent?
Oh God. They should just autos. There's got to be an auto save feature somewhere in there.
Probably. That might be a bad idea for some reason, though.
Yeah, they've got too many features in Postman. There's just too many features.
It is kind of crazy. I click like three buttons in there.
Exactly. That's all anybody wants. I did finally do like a shared collection, which I had had problems with in the past. I found super confusing, but I did that because I have a
Yeah,
front end developer that's working on some stuff. I'm working on the APIs, so it's a nice
that's
way to
cool.
put them all in one place and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's fine. But yeah, there's
Let's
just
see, how many
too
do I have
much.
here? It's like, I don't know, 30 different GraphQL examples in this shared workspace.
Nice, nice. It's the
Did
only.
you figure out the what was it you were trying to do? Um, get the value of the meta field
Yes,
on the customer.
yes. It was a permissions issue. So the GraphQL, like when you create a custom app in order to get a token for like Postman,
Yeah.
and so I create, whenever I do that, I go like, all right, like there's no select all button, I don't think. So I usually will go and be like, all right, products, customer,
Yeah.
and it never was really an issue until now. I didn't give the meta objects permission, and it was
But you were getting some of the like you were getting the name and stuff of it.
what was I? Oh yeah, oh I was getting the reference. So I was getting, so it was a
Yeah, you had to go into the definition reference.
yeah, because it was a meta field on a customer referencing a meta object entry. Like it was a
Yeah.
meta object of roles, and then in the customer, I'm referencing a role. And so the thing that it did give me was the GID of the meta object,
Right.
which in and of itself is just a GID. It's not.
Yeah,
So that,
never helpful.
yeah,
Why?
yeah,
Why is this?
yeah.
Thank you.
So, and I didn't know whether you had to do separate queries for like all these different types of like metafield references, like a file reference or a meta object reference. But yeah,
Uh,
it handles it great. Like you can just pull shit out of there. Um,
yeah, they're just like sometimes it doesn't totally tell you on the dev page that you can get certain fields, but if you go to what that thing is,
hmm
it gives you like the full list, right?
hmm hmm Yeah.
If
Wh-
that makes sense at all.
I don't really know what you meant.
No.
I just know that I
Your
was.
agreement was very suspect.
I don't really
Yeah.
know. I just know that I was eventually able to figure it out. but, um, but yeah, it's like those are the moments where you start to go like, okay, GraphQL makes sense. Like when you can like
Yeah.
spider into like related records and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah, that's the term I should have used was spider.
yeah, yeah, you gotta. I just thought of that on the fly. that was
That
just,
was pretty cool.
that was just,
I totally got
that
it.
was right off the dome, dude. Um, so that was cool. That was a proud moment. Um,
Nice. So
but
you're like building auth in Metafields on customers for roles.
yeah, it's basically this customer has this or this merchant has this custom account section where they'll have they'll need to add like it'll be it's like a B2B company, and they'll have different team members that they need to add, and they'll have roles. So one person will be the admin, and then they might have like an accountant, and the accountant will need to see like invoices, uh, but they don't need to see like they don't need to like check out. So like we you hide the checkout button. or they might not need to see
Interesting.
pricing. And then they'll have like the B2B customers will have end customers that they're basically reselling the products to, and they'll want to put some markup on top of the prices that they pay. So they'll do some stuff like that. Um, so it's a pretty simple
So
little.
the buyer, like the first buyer and the end buyers, both use this site?
Yes.
That's interesting. That's like a whole custom thing you're doing.
Yeah, it's a whole custom thing. Yeah, it's a kind of a weird B2B setup, but um it would have been nice to do this in new customer accounts, which are called customer accounts
Customer
now.
accounts.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's
Very
it's
nice.
so funny because I kept thinking how weird it is to, and nobody gets it, especially if they're not like developers. You say new, they completely glaze past it when you say new custom. Like it wasn't until the
Yeah.
like sixth time that I was talking about limitations of new customer accounts that, I
Yeah.
realized that I should show them what I meant because they had no idea. Um,
Yep. Like, okay, so what you're saying is only customers who don't have a login will get the. No, sorry. That's just what Shopify calls the accounts where you don't have a password. Let's start this whole conversation over again.
yeah, exactly. And then, and then the password list thing really throws them for a loop. They're like, well, okay, right, but we can just add a password, right?
No.
Like, not so much. They're like, well, like but people can like share a login, right? Because our users always share their logins. Nope.
You know what messes us up sometimes is we have the new customer accounts, and also a lot of people have Shop Pay.
Hmm.
And so when we're testing and like logging out and logging in, it's like, okay, well, what will happen if I use this Shop Pay login with the same email address as this one that's going to send me a code? And there's just like some what's happening here. But it is nice to not have a password.
Dude, but I love the Shop Pay because it just logs you right in. I mean,
Oh yeah, me too.
yeah, it's
But then like, wait, which Shop Pay account did I use? Is that the one that I set up to test on? Like, is that the one that I have my customer tag on? It's a totally
oh,
like
I know what you mean.
we're logging out and logging in all the time weird
Right.
thing that customers don't actually experience.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I'll usually, because ShopPay is linked to my personal email, but then like on this one project, I have like an email through the agency, but I usually
Hmm.
just do most stuff under my personal email with ShopPay because it's so much easier. That sucker pops up. I just click on it. I don't have to do the stupid.
Same.
Yeah.
I love Shop Pay.
It's so good, dude.
I
Oh,
will buy your thing if you have Shop Pay.
dude. But this is so wacky, man. So I added a checkout block to this one class. It's the first time I actually used checkout blocks. And they just needed to add an order notes field into the checkout. So I went in, did it, boom.
Hmm.
Not it shows up in
Boom.
the editor, not showing up for me. I'm like, what the heck? Finally, I log out or something, and then it shows up. I click checkout as guests, and it shows up. I'm like, what? I contact customer support, and they're like, oh, and I didn't hear back for like 5 days for starters, and then they're like, oh, it's not happening for us because they logged in and they could see the checkout block. And then I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I was like, well, it's happening for all three of us. And I sent a screenshot, and I guess I was using the Shop Pay login. And then the support goes, oh, it's not compatible with Shop Pay. And I was like, what?
Yeah, nothing shows up on Shop Pay.
So then I realized there's a freaking checkbox in the checkout block to enable it for the Shop Pay checkout. And that's
Oh.
all you got to do. But I'm like, dude, why is that? Why isn't that out of the box
Well,
for
yeah,
one?
why do I care about that difference?
Yeah, and why is that a different thing? I mean, it looks the same. It looks like the same checkout. Like, what the hell?
I agree. I feel like that's a place where some stuff can happen is the like like in the theme editor, you always can see, okay, this is going to be what it looks like on the front end in this specific scenario. I can change the
Mm,
product. Um, it even has like its own session. Like I can add something to the cart and then go look at the cart. But in
mm,
checkout, when you're previewing, there's like you can't do anything.
right.
Like if I have something that should show up only if there's a specific product in the cart, how do I test? Like you can't change what's in the cart, so you got to like go
Oh,
test it on the front end.
right. Right. That's a good point. Yeah, it
It's a
all.
little it's a little confusing to me because it's like it's checkout. I got to save changes to my most important part of the site so that I can go see what it looks like.
Well, you can do a preview checkout configuration, and then you can. Actually, I'm not
And
sure.
then you can do it on the front end and then look at it.
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Which,
maybe I'm just super dumb.
dude, honestly, I saw that this last time, and I could have sworn that that preview link didn't exist the last time I'd seen it, like a few months back. So, what you know what you just said? I actually had this as a discussion point, which is like when you thought something wasn't possible, and all of a sudden it is, and you don't know, like you just said, am I just stupid, or did this literally launch like a month ago, you know? And, like I I had that happen recently. I told somebody like it's not possible to index on Metafields. And then I
Yeah.
saw that post, and the post they don't put timestamps on like on the docs. So I was like, wait a minute, has this like just been, and then it was new, but for a while there I thought I was just a dumbass.
How dare you not have like a manually ingested RSS feed of all of the Shopify's change logs every day?
I know, dude. That's funny.
It's like it's weird. It feels like it's hard to keep up, but that's such a good
Oh,
problem.
it's a good.
I love
Yeah.
having new stuff
Oh
all
yeah.
the time. It's like I get shiny things.
No, it is. It's super cool. Like seeing stuff launch. Um,
We got the winter editions coming up. Here we go.
yeah, dude, I hadn't even thought about that. Although,
We're getting the new customer account stuff.
like,
Wait, we're getting customer account stuff.
we're getting customer account stuff that's new.
Yes.
um, I don't know. Now that I think about it, it's funny though, because I feel like stuff is launching so much day to day, which is awesome. And then I kind of feel like Editions just rolls that stuff up. And then it's like a combination of stuff that already launched 6 months ago and stuff that like they're going to announce. And
Will
it's,
launch in 6 months, maybe.
yeah, exactly. It's like it's already done, or it's like we're gonna announce it, and it might happen, it might not. So it's like, what's the point, you know? but but the pace of just day to day stuff is great. Like it's pretty awesome.
It is. I still need to go back and check if I can get my variant data based on Metafield value.
Uh, I I thought I went and looked at that, but I can't remember if I did or not. I thought
It's
of
got to
that.
log in.
Yeah, I thought about that, and I was like, oh, I should check, and then I promptly forgot.
Same.
Oh, but one of the cool use cases that almost enabled for me was that on this project, they have invoices, multiple invoices per order. So it's not like a Shopify invoice, which is like sort of one-to-one with an order.
Hmm.
So I was like, oh shoot, and I need to filter on them. So like they need to have a table that shows invoices. They need to be able to search them. They need to be able to sort. And so I was like, dang, like I can't do that. So I was like, I'll have to use a database for this one table. Everything else we figured out how to put into Shopify, Metafields, Meta
Mm.
objects and stuff. And then they added the indexing. So I was like, oh damn, nice. So I could do this invoices meta object and I'm good to go. But then I realized that, or this dude Valdis, shout out to Valdis, on Twitter mentioned that there's a limit of meta objects, which On Plus, it goes up to like 128,000 meta
Hmm.
objects. And because we have to import a bunch of historical data, that wasn't that wasn't going to be enough. So
Well, is a limit on meta object entries.
I think so. Yeah,
Dang.
yeah, which kind of sucked.
Yeah, no database for you.
Yeah, dude. So I had to go
Well,
with the date.
you no Shopify database.
Yeah,
You gotta get a real database.
yeah. I had to spin up a dirty database.
Just gotta have that database.
Disgusting.
Put it on Cloudflare. It'll be free forever.
Yeah, super super gross.
Oh, okay. I was looking at Hydrogen today. Do they have a database, or you gotta do your own?
Okay, so I also moved off of hydrogen because they don't they don't have a date. I mean, hydrogen is all about hitting the API, you know,
Yeah.
directly, and it's great for that. There's all sorts of weird shit when you need to connect to an external database. Like
Uh-huh.
it gets super complicated. You have to connect over an edge connection to a database in Cloudflare, which I finally got working in my local, and then I couldn't get it working in prod. It's weird.
That's why you
It's
go prod first.
so that kind of sucked. But yeah, they don't have a database.
Integrations. I'm looking at the website now. Where's the database integration? There ain't one. I gotta look at this.
Yeah.
Because you could do like a whatever Cloudflare's database is, D1 or something,
Yep.
and put stuff there, but still connecting to it from the Hydrogen like node application is weird.
Yeah. That. Yeah. Like you have to connect as an edge. Like there's a whole Cloudflare tutorial you need. Or wait, Cloudflare. I might be mixing up Prisma. Well, I might be. Yeah. There's a Prisma, which is the ORM I was looking at that
Yeah.
can connect to a Cloudflare. It's weird, dude. I spent way too much time on it, man. Fucking hate it.
You should totally just spin up a Cloudflare account and like put some things together. I
Start
bet you
messing
would like it.
around. No, I mean
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be great. Um,
It's way easier than I thought it was. I made a stupid website and it's like free and just works.
that's cool. That's pretty sweet. It's just that like Hydrogen is using Cloudflare workers under the hood, so
Hmm.
I didn't know whether I needed a separate one. Like I was following this tutorial and it was telling me to create a worker, a Cloudflare worker, and I was like, wait, do I need to create a new one, or is
Or it's this
Hydrogen
one.
already the
Gotcha.
one? Yeah.
It does kind of seem like you create like multiple workers
Okay.
when you're doing stuff with those. But
Okay.
it was pretty like if you're doing it in the Cloudflare environment, like just online or on their website, they have pretty easy ways for you to be like, okay, I want a database now, and so you spin up the D1, and then they give you all the how you connect to D1 from the worker. So I'm
Hmm.
surprised it's not easy like that in Hydrogen.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird. What does D1 stand for?
I don't know.
Division. What's a D? It's a Division One database.
Cloudflare D1. I think they just call it D1.
That's cool. Sounds kind of cool,
SQLite,
dude.
whatever.
I am starting to hate IPaaS with an absolute passion.
Oh no.
Like, yeah, just any kind of visual. I mean, flow is fine. We carve out flow because, you know, if there's something you can do in flow, you do it. If not, you don't. You know, you're not stuck doing some gigantic project on flow, you know? But
Like thinking you're going to be able to do anything, and
yeah,
then
yeah, exactly. but like I'm so sick of all the stupid visual builder if else thens. Like I the last straw for me was, you have to create like this one I'm working in, you have to create these like sub recipes, which is kind of cool. And then you can call them from the main recipe. And then you have to define the schema of what data is going in, what data is going out. And then, so I wanted to do one that was going to do a find or create operation. Like I'm pulling in products. So I got to either find the existing product if it exists, if not, create it, return that back so then I can deal with the variants and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
in the sub function, like I needed to return, if the product existed, I needed to return, and then if it did, I needed to create it and return. And I had to map those two returns separately. Like I had to map each of the fields in the stupid schema separately twice. And I'm just
Uh,
like, this is not right. This is not okay. So I just ended up using, they have a JavaScript thing, you can write just code in there.
yeah, I'll just write code.
I'm just writing
I've done that
code.
before.
Yeah, dude. Oh God, it's so much easier. Oh man.
Especially if they like baby you a little bit on like when you're writing the code and you can see like the input and then like click a button, see what your code did and see the output. That's
Yeah,
really fun.
that's pretty cool. This one doesn't have
I
that.
feel like Celigo does a good job with that.
That's cool. That's cool. I still have never actually used Celigo. I've heard so many things about it. I've heard most people say pretty positive things about it. Um,
It's like a Jira situation.
oh, okay.
You like I don't enjoy it, but
Yeah.
for the most part I don't. But it works, and it's like there's nothing else. So
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So
maybe it's just
it's,
because I would rather write code.
yeah, that's the thing, man. It's just code from here on out. I'm so done with these stupid things. Stupid
So
interfaces.
you went back to using Gadget.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for instead of hydrogen, just because of the database issue. Um, Oh, you
Oh,
mean for the
okay, that was
IPaaS?
an
No,
iPass.
for the
Yeah.
IPaaS thing, the IPaaS itself has a JavaScript like action, and then so I just wrote the entire like thing in there. So the whole workflow is like one JavaScript action.
Ingest webhook, do everything.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, and I will say the way it pulls the NetSuite data in is great. Like it pulls it in, it does the soap for me so that I don't have to deal with the
Oh,
soap.
that's good. That's worth it.
Gives me a nice JSON object, and then I can just write code from there. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm good to go on that. Um, but yeah, with the hydrogen one, I moved that over to Gadget because of the database connection thing.
Hmm.
And I'm getting more and more comfortable with Gadget. So it it's
Do you have like a personal Gadget account and then you just use that for your clients when you need to?
yeah. And like I log in with my main email, and then I have like my own like team or whatever. And then if somebody adds you to their team, then there's just like a drop down up top where you can switch teams and then um, go into any project in a given team. So it handles
But
that
do you
pretty.
have to have your client like install the Gadget app and pay for it, or how does the payment work?
So you'll have the client set it up and put their billing info in there, and then
Gotcha.
from there you can install the app, yourself and
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
but you're just like, hey, I need Gadget to do this. Buy it for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty nice. It's handled pretty smooth. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so I'm getting a little more comfortable. They added. It's funny because I recently was like posted. I was like, man, it'd be so cool if because they have a command line tool that like syncs your code locally and things like that. And
Hmm.
I was like, man, it'd be so cool if you could see logs in the command line, because normally I go to the web interface to like see the logs, and it's kind of crazy, and it also like jams up all the memory on my laptop. I only have 8 megs or gigs or whatever it is, like a dumbass, and so literally every time I open the logs, if I have anything else open, my computer crashes. So anyways, they ended up like there was a new version which I kept seeing it tell me like to upgrade the you get a reminder to upgrade your CLI or
Yeah,
something.
and you're like, no, I'll do that
Yeah, like
later.
I'll do that later, like for the next 6 months. Anyways, I somebody replied, they're like, oh, they already have that, so I just needed to upgrade, and then they have the logs in there, which is kind of cool. Um, but then
Heck yeah.
but then I noticed they don't always show up. Sometimes the logs just don't show up in the command line. So then I'm back to the web interface for the logs every once in a while.
That's why you just have 500 tabs open at all times using tab groups. You ever use tab groups in Chrome?
Dude, what is a tab group? You,
Oh, I
dude,
have so many tabs.
you have a problem. You need to
Yes,
get
I do.
help. At the point where you start doing tab groups, you need to just admit defeat and get help, dude.
I have 10 tab groups, and each one has like 10 tabs in it. And then I got a bunch of tabs over to the side that aren't even in a group. That's how you know they aren't important.
these, these the pleb tabs. That's crazy. No, I've literally never heard of a tab group before.
You got to try it out if you just want to have so many websites open, like one for your logs.
I'll have to check that out. But then
Swimming through tabs.
the other thing about Gadget that's killing me is they keep posting about all these stupid big commerce things that they're working on. They're like doing some stupid live
Why are you
stream.
even doing that?
Yeah, dude, like what's your deal? Um, but yeah, that's fine. It is what it is. I mean, like I honest,
Focus, you guys.
yeah, like I get it, business, et cetera. Like, like you got to do the businessy thing, whatever. But I honestly think there's probably more profit in just focusing on Shopify. Like as good as they are, they could like be even better for Shopify and just freaking eat up all the market share like champs. Um,
I guess you have to be like, I imagine there's some worry that Shopify just eventually does that, though. So they got to have their foot in the door somewhere else.
yeah, but I mean, I'm sure they want to get acquired. Why not just try to get acquired
Yeah.
by Shopify? Like, there's
Well,
no,
maybe that's like the negotiation tactic.
maybe I don't know. I don't understand these business types, man. Just pick a niche,
Just
go hard.
just make a two-step IPaaS workflow where the second one is just JavaScript.
Exactly. Just brute force it, dude. Just brute force it. Oh, man. Every time I create a new app in Gadget and it shows you a modal to pick the type of, and it used to just be like a Shopify app or a web app. And now there's
Mhm.
a stupid BigCommerce
Oh,
button.
so inconvenient.
It makes me so mad, dude. By the way, shout out to BigCommerce, all the
Yeah,
BigCommerce
shout
people.
out.
So, yeah, that's
Do you have like all of the Shopify merch?
not like an insane amount. I got the keyboard. I don't.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I have this Newfie keyboard, and it keeps. I keep missing keys, and rather than like take it apart and blow blow air at it,
Yeah.
maybe I'll just get a new keyboard.
There you go, dude. That's a good rationale. Why clean something when you can just
That's
get
right.
get a brand new one? What you said it's what kind of keyboard? It's called a Newfie?
Newfie,
Oh, nice.
Nuphy.
Oh, nice. Is that like some kind of mechanical keyboard or?
Yeah, it's a low profile. I hate having to move my fingers.
Dude. Oh
So
my
I just
God.
like the short keys are what I always look for.
Dude, so honestly, that and also the fact that the keyboard layout is slightly different from my regular Apple keyboard is basically the reason why I don't even use the Shopify keyboard.
Oh, because you're coming from the chiclet style Apple keyboard.
Yeah, which I like the mechanical crunchiness, but I
Mhm.
don't like how high it is. I do really like a low profile keyboard.
Yeah, you,
So,
you should check out, like they have low profile. There's quite a few different ones. You should try it if you care to. But like the Apple keyboard, I that's what I came from too. So
hmm,
that's why I always look for the low profile.
got
I
you.
really like sliding my fingers between the keys. You ever do that?
I think let me see. I have to slide it. Yeah, I guess I do. I guess I do. Yeah, you can't slide them on the other ones.
No,
Yeah.
but you can slide on this one.
Dude, I love an Apple keyboard, man. Dude, I bought 5 different mechanical keyboards recently, and I got this,
Just to try.
dude,
Gotta crack this nut.
I went nuts. I got the split keyboards, dude. I got some stupid keyboards, and I ended up sticking with the Apple keyboards. They just,
Hmm.
they just do the
Yeah,
trick
they're
for me.
no, I like them too.
Yeah, I love an Apple keyboard. But I did get one new the new Apple keyboard that has the Touch ID on it because I have like one chair with like a monitor, and then I have another chair with like next to my laptop. And when I'm
The
on the
recliner.
yeah, so when I'm on the recliner, I don't have anywhere to Touch ID anything. So it's like I need to get that. I need to get that
Gotta get
new
that.
keyboard.
Man, I gotta get a recliner in here.
Dude, it's the way to live,
I have a couch over there. That would be super cool. Like I would feel like so cool if
dude.
I was just working from the couch and I need like 5 more monitors.
It's the best, dude. Get yourself a nice monitor set up, nice monitor arm, and yeah, it's
Oh, a monitor arm. Okay.
yep,
Just put a whole nother monitor over there.
yep, yep. You
All right.
need a good solid monitor arm.
Send me a link. I need to do some shopping.
Oh, dude, I have a link for you. Dude, I was looking for monitor arms, and I found I saw a couple, and I was gonna get one of the a little bit cheaper ones. I think the one I got was like $90. Had solid reviews. It was like, man, this thing is so solid. I installed it, and it was just totally solid. It's been perfect. I sound like a monitor
Yeah.
salesperson right now. but but
Got to keep your options
you
open.
know how it is these days where like so many electronic things or whatever are just so cheap that when you get
Yeah.
something and it just feels solid, it just it like stands out kind of a
Hmm.
thing.
Like it's heavy. Like they
Yeah.
just put metal in it and it feels better.
Yeah, you just need some heft.
Yeah, I feel like I like when I buy things that are metal more than like I don't know. It feels different
Yeah.
because it's heavy, I guess, which is weird.
Yeah. Well, I don't really think it's weird. I think people just like things that are heavy. Like
They like metal.
yeah, you want it to feel like substantial or something.
I agree.
I have
Maybe
about,
we,
oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just thinking about things made out of wood, and then I realized that we should probably not talk about this anymore.
I have 22 things on the list right now. I'm getting a little overwhelmed. Um, there's
Didn't we start with 22 things on the
the
list? Like
list
first
perpetually has
episode?
20 because I add, but I add, I've added every week. I'll add stuff to the list. Um, another one of those weird things I didn't know about was that you can change you can change the My Shopify URL.
Oh yeah.
And did you know about this?
Yeah, I think I've done it before and it like didn't work well. It was like a year ago.
Exactly. So I told the team, I was like, yeah, I said you can't change the URL, so they might want to create a new one for prod. And then this dude chimes in. He's like, actually, you can change the URL. And he sends me the link, and I was so mad, that I was like, I get so mad
Wrong
whenever,
again.
yeah, I get so mad when I'm wrong. So I pull it up, I start looking into it, and then it mentions like,
There's something that's not going to work here. I know it.
I'm gonna prove I'm wrong. And, and, and then it mentioned this weird stuff about how like the old domain like doesn't completely go away. And then
Mhm.
somebody told me that they actually, and basically nobody has ever done it. Like everybody replied and was like, I've never done it before, or I'm afraid to do it or something like that. And this one guy who had done it, he said your admin URL does not change and only your front end URL changes. Literally, if you don't have a custom domain, which is like, who doesn't have a custom domain?
Right.
Your .myshopify.com front end URL is the only thing that changes. So it's like
Oh,
totally
maybe that's
nuts.
what the weird thing was. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had like a testing environment that we spun up and it didn't like we didn't like the you know how in the admin and you're switching between stores, it does like the first three letters as an
Oh yeah,
abbreviation.
yeah, 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 yeah.
There was something stupid like we didn't like what the three letters were, so we were
Oh,
trying to change it, and that never changed.
oh God, that's funny. Um, can you put a logo in place of those three letters, or is that?
Oh, that would be
I
cool.
think you can. I feel like some of my.
You will be able to like next month.
Oh yeah, next month.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Oh, after additions. Yeah,
Just because things always change.
yeah. No, I think you can because I think I did that for one client. I gotta double check. It's so weird how there's so many features. You just like they're all. It's like you can never know every single feature, and then even if you did know a
You
feature
never
6 months
can.
ago, you forget about it. Something changes or whatever. It's insane.
I'm excited for the customer account custom links thing that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that was hard with our loyalty integration was that you have to log in, but there's no way to get back, and you can't put a link there.
Mm-hmm. Like a top nav link.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like we'll say something like click here, like log in to view the program, and then they click log in, and then they're in their account history.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
and there is no way to redirect with customer accounts. With old
Yeah.
customer accounts, you can.
Yeah. Yeah, they need that. They need that big time. A redirect.
Need it.
Yeah. There's quite a few things they still need. Like it's actually not possible to do like you know how there's like an order grid in the
Hmm.
customer accounts and then you can toggle from a grid to a table or whatever. You can't if you're building an app, a new customer accounts UI extension, you can't do a table. There's no way to do a table. Like tables, no
Oh,
such thing as creating a table. It's
and
like
can you do custom? How does it
not
work?
a
Do you get a
table,
page?
not a table. There's a list of components that you can use. So
I see.
there's like a grid, there's like a Flexbox type of a grid, um, and there's
I
like
imagine there's a way you can do a window to like your app or whatever, or no?
you mean like an iframe?
I guess it's the same as checkout. Yeah.
No, yeah, no, you can't do an iframe. They're just React components, and they're pretty,
Oh,
yeah, they're pretty locked down. So I mean, but it's like they'll have everything soon enough, you know. I mean, they're just gonna keep adding and investing in it. It's gonna be awesome. It's just like,
yeah. I'm interested in seeing what happens with customer accounts. That's hopefully some cool stuff.
oh yeah, it's gonna be great once it's more feature complete. I mean, it's a really nice little section.
I'm just glad I don't have to deal with passwords.
Right, right. Like just like customer service requests and stuff like that, or
Yeah,
yeah.
and just like worrying, like we didn't have to migrate people and their passwords over to Shopify because we just decided to use new customer accounts. So
Oh, that's right.
that was nice.
Right. Yeah, it is a really nice like simplification. And I mean,
You know what's really nice for me right now is I haven't had to think about load testing at all.
right.
Which, like a couple of years ago, I would like paid someone to load test my site, and now I'm
Right.
just like Shopify, take the wheel.
Right.
I'm
Right.
just gonna wait and watch the planet shoot fireworks around. I wonder if we're
Right.
getting that back.
Right.
I hope it comes
Dude,
back.
they always do
There's probably gonna be something like stupidly awesome.
it's ridiculous how good they do those Black Friday things. It's insane.
That's probably the thing that I'm looking forward to the most from winter editions.
Nice. Yeah, it's I think some people I remember seeing this request. Somebody wanted to automatically create a ton of orders because they wanted to load test their like back end warehouse system or something. Like
Oh
they
yeah,
had some process on the back end dealing with like order inventory or something like that. And I was like,
yeah. That's
that's
the one thing I
crazy.
still get nervous about.
Yeah,
Still have to talk to NetSuite. Still have to send all the orders,
right,
and we've had issues there before, but
right. Dude, so like,
hopefully we found them
do
all.
you like, do you get like, is Black Friday like nuts? Like, do you get like hot potatoes you
Yep.
got to deal with and stuff like that? Do things
No
break?
hot
And
potatoes. I don't know what that is, but we
it was,
that was straight from the top of the dome, wasn't it?
I was gonna say, do you have fires to put out? But the only thing that came to mind was hot potatoes.
Oh, we used to like this is like the most nervous time of the year for me, but
Oh,
we've been like all we've been dealing with this year is just making sure that all the content is ready to go and looks good and
nice.
compare at prices, baby.
That's cool. That's super cool. And what about apps? Like, do apps that have their own databases and stuff, do they ever go down or?
The uh, the nice thing about most apps that we use, well, I guess all of them, is that they just use like Shopify functions. So there's nothing to worry about there other
Oh,
than
nice.
like the back end going down because like that's when you're talking to the custom apps servers is like when you're configuring the app.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just a Shopify function. So I'm not scared. Stop trying to make me scared.
No, I wasn't trying to. You seem pretty chill, and the only reason I'm asking is because I'm newer to this, this like Black Friday Shopify situation. So, trying to figure out what to
Oh
expect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so I said something about the fireworks on the planet. You don't know what that is.
No, no,
That's exciting.
no. No. I've seen the visualization,
Oh, okay.
but like in terms of having like a number of active Shopify clients that I'm like responsible for, for Black Friday.
Oh,
Like yeah,
sheesh.
this is the first time I've had that. So
Okay,
yeah.
don't be scared.
You're like, oh, sheesh. Okay, don't be
Yeah.
scared.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That was the least reassuring. That'll be fine. I've ever heard. But okay.
Yeah, tensions are always everyone sells a lot during Black Fridays, and so like once you start understand like now you need that to happen. And so if it's not happening, what's the problem? What's wrong?
Get in there, troubleshoot, figure it out.
Get in there.